You're bleeding energy every single day, and you don't even know where it's going. It's going to people who don't think about you, opinions that don't matter, conversations that happened 3 years ago, and then you wonder why you're tired, why you're stuck, and why you can't get ahead. Let me explain how this works. You wake up every day with a limited tank of mental energy. So if you think of it like a battery, 100% when you wake up. Now, here's what most people do with that battery. 10% goes about worrying what their coworker thinks of them. 15 goes to replaying a conversation from last week. 20% of it goes to crafting the next perfect text message so nobody gets offended. 10% goes to scrolling through social media and comparing themselves to strangers. 15 probably goes to anxiety about a future judgment that will probably never happen. And by noon, you're at 30% and haven't done a single thing that actually matters to your life. This is how most people live, running on empty, exhausted by invisible battles, and then they wonder why they can't build anything, why they can't focus, why they feel stuck. It's not a discipline problem, it's an energy leak problem. So let me give you another way to see this. Life is a video game. You're the main character. This is your story. But somewhere along the way, you started playing like an NPC. You know what an NPC is? Non-player character. The background characters in video games, they don't make decisions, they just react, they follow scripts, they exist to serve the main character's story. And that's how most people live. Reacting to everyone else, following scripts society gave them, trying not to upset the other characters. NPCs don't win the game. They're not even trying to win. They're just there. Now, main characters are different. Main characters make bold moves. They take risks. They don't pause the game every time someone disapproves. So here's my question for you. Are you playing your life like a main character or an NPC in your own story? Be honest. Let me show you what this is actually costing you. When you're leaking energy to other people's opinions, you have nothing left for yourself. That business you want to start, you don't have the energy. It's going to worry. The content you want to create, you don't have the courage. It's going to fear of judgment. That person you want to become, you can't build them. You're too busy maintaining a character that other people approve of. Marcus Aurelius said it 2,000 years ago. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. 2,000 years and nothing's changed. But you say you love yourself, but your actions say you love their approval more. That's not self-love, that's self-abandonment. Now, I'm not preaching from the mountaintop here. I was the biggest NPC you've ever seen. I used to walk into rooms and immediately scan for threats. Who might judge me? Who do I need to impress? Who's watching? I would leave parties and spend the whole time driving home on analyzing every word I'd said. I checked my phone 50 times after sending a text to see if they responded, and if they didn't, I'd spiral. Did I say something wrong, etc.? I was exhausted, anxious, and completely disconnected from what I actually wanted. Because here's the thing, when you're constantly performing for others, you forget who you actually are. I didn't know what I liked, what I wanted, what I believed. I just knew what would get approval. That's not a life, that's a prison, and I was the one holding the keys the whole time. So why do we do this, and why do we care so much? Here's what nobody tells you. Your brain is running on outdated software. 10,000 years ago, humans lived in tribes, small groups, 50 to 150 people max. Back then, rejection from the tribe meant death. Literally, if the tribe kicked you out, you'd starve or get eaten by a predator. So your brain evolved to be terrified of social rejection, and that fear kept you alive. But here's the problem. You're not in a tribe anymore. You live in a world of 8 billion people. Rejection from one person, one group, one audience means nothing. But your nervous system doesn't know that. It still treats every potential judgment like a survival threat. That anxious feeling when someone might disapprove, that's your ancient brain screaming danger, tribe rejection, you'll die. But you won't die, it's a false alarm, it's a glitch. The fear is real, the danger is not. So let me give you some numbers that change my perspective. There are 8 billion people on this planet, and let's say you do something bold, something authentically you, and 99% of the world hates it. Thinks you're stupid and judges you. That's 80 million people who love it. 80 million. You could never meet all of them. You could never run out of your people. But most people optimize for the wrong thing. They try to minimize haters instead of finding their tribe. They water themselves down, they become bland, acceptable, and inoffensive. And when they wonder why nobody cares about them, nobody's inspired by beige. Nobody follows an NPC. Naval Ravikant said it best: if you're not pissing someone off, you're not doing anything interesting. The goal isn't to be liked by everyone. That's impossible and exhausting. The goal is to be loved by your people, the right people, the ones who get it. And you'll never find them if you're too busy performing for other people who don't. So, here's your permission slip. You are allowed to have enemies. You are allowed to be disliked. You are allowed to take up space, be loud, be polarizing, be you. Not everyone will get it. Good, they're not supposed to. You're not for everyone, and everyone's not for you. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop leaking energy to people who were never your people in the first place. If this is landing for you, please subscribe. I make videos like this every week. No fluff, just real talk about building a life on your terms. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now let me show you how to actually stop the leak and start playing like a main character. Step 1, identify your leaks. First, you need to find out where your energy is actually going. For the next 3 days, I want you to track your mental energy. Every time you catch yourself worrying about someone's opinion, write it down. Who is it? What are you worried they'll think? How much time did you spend on it? Be ruthless about this. Most of your leaks are invisible. You've been doing them so long they feel normal. For example, what will my mom think? Leak. I hope that person didn't take that the wrong way. Leak. I can't post this, people might judge me. Leak. By the end of 3 days, you'll have a map of where your energy is going, and I promise you'll be shocked. Most people are losing 50 to 70% of their mental energy to opinions that don't matter. You can't fix what you can't see, so let's start seeing it. Step 2, the NPC test. Now, I want you to run every decision through what I call the NPC test. Before you do something, or more importantly, before you don't do something, ask yourself, is this a main character move or an NPC move? Main character posts the content even though someone might not like it. NPC stays quiet because it's safer. Main character states their opinion in the meeting. NPCs agrees with everyone to avoid conflict. Now the main character wears what they want. NPCs wears what it's expected. Main character builds their dream even if people doubt them. NPCs follow the safe path to avoid judgment. Every decision is a vote of who you're becoming. Are you voting for the main character or are you voting for the NPC? Start catching yourself and start choosing differently. Step 3, disappointment training. This one takes courage, but it's the fastest way to freedom. I want you to start disappointing people on purpose. I'm serious. Say no to something you normally say yes to. Cancel plans you don't want to keep. Let someone be upset with you and don't rush to fix it. Eleanor Roosevelt said you wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realize how seldom they do. But you won't believe that until you prove it yourself. When you disappoint someone and survive it, something shifts. You realize the fear was bigger than the reality. You realize their reaction is their business, not yours. You realize you can handle it. And that's when you take back your power. Start small, build a muscle, become someone who's okay with not being okay with everyone. Step 4, build your core identity. Here's the deeper work. The reason you care so much about what others think is because you're now grounded in who you are. When you don't have a clear identity, you borrow one from others. You become what they want. You shape-shift to fit in. But when you know exactly who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going, their opinions become noise. So I want you to answer these questions and write them down. What do I actually value? Not what I was taught. What do you actually care about? What am I building? What's my vision for life? What do I stand for? What will I never compromise on? What would I do if nobody would judge me? That last one's important because that's the real you. That's who you're suppressing to manage other people's comfort. Bruce Lee said, I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations, and you're not in this world to live up to mine. Living up to their expectations, stop living up to their expectations, start living up to your own. We're getting into the good stuff now. If you're serious about this, subscribe, drop a comment and tell me which step you're going to start with. I will read all of them. Let's bring this home. So let me tell you what happens when you plug the leaks and you start playing like a main character. First, you get your energy back. All that mental bandwidth you were wasting on worry, on people pleasing, on image management, it's yours again. You can finally focus, build, create, think clearly. Second, you become magnetic. Here's the irony: when you stop caring what other people think, people start to be drawn to you. Because authenticity is rare. Most people are performing. When someone fully shows up as themselves, it's refreshing, it's attractive. The people who were going to judge you, they leave. Good. The people who resonate with the real you, they show up, finally. Third, you find your flow. When you're not constantly monitoring external feedback, you can finally tune into your own internal guidance. What do I want? What feels right? What's the move? That's flow, that's alignment, that's what it feels like to be the main character of your life. Now, the bigger picture, I want to zoom out here for a second. You're here for a limited time. We all are. 4,000 weeks if you're lucky. And you're going to spend a chunk that time worrying about what other people think? People who don't remember your name in 10 years? That's a bad trade. The opinions you're scared of today will not matter on your deathbed, but the life you didn't live because of them, that'll matter. Steve Jobs said it: your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown out your own inner voice. That inner voice, it knows what you want. It knows what you're supposed to become. But you can't hear it if you're constantly tuned into someone else's channel. It's time to change the station. So here's your assignment. This week, I want you to make one main character move. The one thing you've been holding back because of what someone else might be thinking. Post it, say it, do it, wear it, build it. And when the fear comes up, and it will, I want you to recognize it for what it is: a glitch, outdated software, a false alarm from a brain that still thinks you're in a tribe. You're not in a tribe. You're in a world of infinite possibilities, infinite people, infinite paths. And you've been playing small, leaking energy, living like an NPC. That ends now. Plug the leaks. Take back your energy. Play like the main character you were born to be. Because here's the truth. You were not put on this earth to manage other people's expectations. You were not put on this earth to manage other people's perceptions of you. You were put here to live, to create, to build, to express, and to become. And you cannot do any of that if you're trapped in a cage made of other people's opinions. The cage door is open. It's always been open. Walk out. Become dangerously unbothered. And if this video gave you something, subscribe. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment. What's one thing you've been holding back because of what people might think? Let's build a community of main characters. And I'll see you in the next one.